don't never do and work. I don't never do and work. Spend this still at company time. Yeah, man. Um, just gonna go in like this. When it come down to it, man, you have great issue right now. The issue is self. We are at a destruction to ourselves because we don't work on ourselves. And man, talking about the life cycle, man. I was gonna get into this. You know, we really don't do enough to build ourselves up. You know, to be in the best situation. You know, you do enough to get by, and this is more or less what I'm talking about because even in relationships, a lot of people, you know, they know the relationship going in. Instead of ending it off or try to working it out, they just, whatever it lays, it lays. And that be the craziest part, man. Like, let's get some clarity. Let's try to work this out. You know, if I did something wrong, what did I do wrong? I mean, you see the signs. I was looking at the cruise season, and they were talking about, when it's over, when you go to try to touch somebody and they don't want you to touch them. It's like, dang, I can't touch you. I mean, that's clearly a sign right there. If you're not able to touch a significant other, whether it be man or female, that's it. You know what I'm saying? If y'all can't talk, figure out what's going on, try to work that part out because, I mean, honestly, like, what we doing? You know, we can't sit here and talk it out. Get an understanding of a situation that happened. And even though everybody get on Steve Harvey for the stuff he say, but Steve Harvey do drop gems and stuff every now and then. And the biggest thing with Steve was it was a guy, 35 years old. He said he with his old lady for about 4 years. Got ready to pop the question, you know, about being married. She said cheated. He found out she cheated. So his thing was it's over. You know, it's over. But to the extent that he really liked the girl, he's gonna still marry her. I was like, man, that's even like Boots. Boots is say he's seen a lot of people jumping in here on here and start mentions what's going on. Yeah. But I got a lot of people I'm sorry, conflating the two. But Boosie was saying he got a lot of people that be in his DMs and stuff, and a lot of people he be, saying, hitting up. And particularly this chick, dude called Boosie was like, what's going on, Boosie, man? He said, I know you didn't already have sex with my girl, but just don't do it no more, man. I'm trying to build a family with this chick. I'm about to marry this chick. You know what I'm saying, man? We went to prom together. And Boosie was like, ooh, he laying down hardcore, telling me, life story that went to the prom with the chick and everything. But when it come down to it, man, like a real crazy thing. Like this guy up here, begging another guy to don't mess with his woman, and he's still gonna stay with her. Man, if that ain't true love, man. Woo, I couldn't do it. Like I say, my thing. We both in a monogamous relationship, and you tell me that we ain't cheating and all this, and you out here getting drilled, all that other stuff. Oh, I could be vindictive and mess around, but other than that, I just rather leave, man. I'd rather leave, you know. Yeah, man. It's like you can't compete with that. And then what Steve made a valid point. A situation can happens in a relationship to where you feel like you gotta cheat. They stop it, but 9 times out of 10, if it happens, they go back out of that relationship again. So it's like, what do you really have? You know, and that's like one of the biggest things that we go through, man. It's like, ooh, especially as a man, that's some cold blooded stuff right there, man. To, look up and catch your old lady cheating red handed, you know. And I always say this. I said, man, if I ever catch my wife, cheating or whatever, man, I already say, ain't no telling what I do. But if I'm in my right state of mind, you know, I'm having a good day, man, I laugh at it and I walk off. Now, catch me on one of those days, because that's the serious thing. Like, I don't want to go too deep on this, but down here in Georgia, they just had a man, and this is a sad situation. He killed this old lady, baby mama, really, and the child. And my wife was like, "Man, that's sad." I said, "Yeah, it's sad on all parties." And I seen it on Facebook. Somebody posted on Facebook talking about it. And the first thing the woman said was, us women got to be protected and this and that. And I kind of looked at the situation crazy because I'm like, this is why I don't really like talking about relationships stuff to an extent. I'm gonna get off of this in a minute, but dude sit up there. I mean, she basically said that the women got to be protected. My thing is, how'd you even get to a point where this so-called crazy man, y'all had kids together? If he was that crazy, like, how did you get to a point where? I mean, even with that being said, why did this guy do this? Nobody wakes up and say, man, unless you just literally have one of those days, or you just off the meat rack. You just get up, say everybody gone, everybody gone. Something, everybody we know about. If you've been to school, which is everybody, you know about cause and effect. Because you hit me, the effect is I hit you back. And I told my wife, I said, that's what's not talked about. We can get on this man all day, but the question is, why did he think that this was okay to do it? Even a situation with trouble, you know, we can make that assumption that, you know, his girl was cheating on him, or his girl broke up with him to be with trouble. So we can make that assumption right there. But the real heated situation that I'm looking at in all this, man, is the crazy part. Why did he think that was okay? Obviously, a lot of people know consequences behind their actions. But what made you think in that moment they just go? They just do. You know, doer, not a thinker. But when it come down to it, man, it's just a crazy situation. And we can say, yeah, man, no matter what, he should have never put his hands on the woman, even though she did this. He's a man. But the point of it is, we can't match each other's energy, man. Like, I don't know what you're going through. Every day I could say hey to you, and the next day you don't say hey back. You could be going through something. You could have a lot on your mind. I don't know. And that little subtle moment right there, nobody's getting up and saying, hey, man, I did say hey to you, man, but you doing okay? Something different about you, man. You always speaking it, talking to people. It was funny. My wife was telling me that my son always asking his mom, yeah, my son always asking his mom, is he okay? I mean, is she okay? And she said, it's nice that he talks to me and we have like little conversations with each other. She's like, got that little man vibe, how the women be. Oh, he's like acting like a little grown man, and I laugh at it. But that's the thing. Nobody's really caring about each other no more. Like, we not focused. That's what I was talking about. That's the main reason I put the butterfly life cycle up. You know, we so focused on everything around us, man. We're not even taking the time to, work with each other. That's why I keep saying that's the biggest part within the community, like the process. Nobody's willing to work on the process no more to get things back to where they're going. You know, it's easier to point the finger. It's easier to pull people by the hair, drag them along, but the process is, even greater or better than that, man. We have a lot of stuff going on in which nobody else can solve but us. Honestly speaking, you know, I don't foresee too many of us actually surviving without each other, particularly the women. Man, that's a crazy thing. You know, and, and to a point, man, you really, you right, man. I mean, a lot of this stuff is so mainstream, and it's crazy. That's why I try not to really, like I say, this. It's, you get a lot of gender topics on other channels, man. I don't know. I might start stepping on it every now and then because I can't really turn a blind eye to it. It really need to be talked about on all levels, man. Because it's to an extent, man. Like, everybody's feeling the pain from this. The kids. It we keep talking about from the adult point, the men and women. Look how many of these kids seeing this stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Most all kids at some form of life heard about, their dad, uncles, or whomever ain't being shit. And I'm like, man, that's cold. Like, for us to really, have our moments where we talking and it this whole situation of being a family, like, man, it's a lot of crazy stuff going on, you know, and nobody's not being held accountable for it. We can say, yeah, pops wasn't around, but why wasn't he around? Like I keep saying, cause and effect. Why didn't he be around? And the woman to say, well, he ain't a good father. Well, you made a baby with him. Despite everything that man showed you, you still made a baby with him. Same thing for that man. Despite everything you say about that woman being a bad mother, being unfit to raise your kids, you want full custody of your child. You made a baby with that woman. And we can say the least, it was all good a week ago. People have their difference. People grow. People actually show their true colors. I always say that, man. When it come down to it, why we didn't have enough time to work it out? You know, sometimes women, sometimes men, they don't want to work it out. They just want blood. You know, and it's to a point where a lot of people, if they don't get what they want, everybody gonna suffer. Oh, I was about to say, man, I almost caught another car, man. Man, when it comes down to it in this space, man, it's to me the balance is not even here. I mean, just in the manosphere alone, I keep telling guys, man, yeah, we have issue with these women, but at the same time, like the issue that we have with the women is not it's not just the women fault. A lot of men gotta hold that L too. And that's the thing that I don't like. I was talking to this guy and I told him, yeah, Brunsberg, me and him had a discussion on this panel. For all the good men, man, say the least, I honestly say about 75%, or maybe even more. I would even give 80% of men out here that are productive and do things, in general, for, the betterment of the community. But then we have the, 20% that do their thing. My thing is this: a lot of these women, I say this to the men too. Women don't follow it, the men don't follow it. So I know if I say this, the women not gonna follow it neither. Stop having sex with unproductive men. If you literally stop having sex with unproductive men, and then in general, you know how it's gonna turn? These unproductive men are gonna change up. Same thing with the women. Stop having sex with these unproductive women. They're gonna change up. I say this all the time. When it come down to it, we talk about these women who wear weaves. It's always been said that men don't want women with weaves. As long as somebody's out here having sex with these women, they're gonna continue wearing weaves. Which personally, I don't care. I want a woman to look good. If she looks bad with a weave, I'm not for weaves. She looks good with a weave, cool. My thing is this: that is not my head. And if it's not my head, then guess what? I don't care as long as it look good. Because for one, you're a black woman. When you have a nice hair, you're representing you're being a representation for black men too. You know, if you look good in a weave, it's gonna look good on both sides. Same thing with these men. You know, we have our situations, we have our issues. You know, within the community. Women getting on these guys for the sagging and all this other stuff, man. But my thing is this: when it comes down to it, you know, productive men, you know, they're gonna always get a step ahead later in life. Right now, hey, it's like growing pains. You're gonna have to suffer, but to the point of you suffering is on you. My thing is, hey, cash out early. You know, I didn't cash out too early, but I kind of cashed out pretty early though. That was my thing. When it came down to me getting married at 25, I knew what I want. And say the least, man, we can go through this whole argument all day. Passport. Man, I got a call. Yeah, man. Hope I ain't dropping in and out. No, I'm in the country. But lost my train of thought there. But okay, the whole argument with the passport bros and all this other stuff, man. I keep saying this. All these women got the internet. All these women literally got the internet. So if you ain't macking in the States, he ain't macking overseas. Bruh, it's a different like you're messing with women that are probably in impoverished areas. Their submissiveness doesn't come as easy as you think. Now there are some that actually are just submissive just in general because that's their nature, that's how they're taught. Hell, that's the women in America the same way. They're submissive to a point to where they'll submit to a man to get something out of him. But other than that, why? I mean, it's very simple. You know, the whole point. I said this earlier. Dang, I can't think of the dude name because he got a good channel. Um, when it comes down to it, a woman will submit to get what she wants. You know, a woman would literally submit to get what she wants. If you want me to be a submissive wife, or you want me to be a submissive girlfriend from that woman's standpoint, she's gonna do that to get what she wants. Same thing for a dude. If a dude wanna have sex, he gonna do what it takes to have sex. You know, and BGS said it best, man. This whole thing with guys thirsting over having sex with women is overrated. But to an extent, I could say the least. BGS being an older man, he done bust a couple up in his day, so he good. But he sees that now. You know that a whole saying about walking down the hill and getting them all instead of running down and just only getting one. Like that's literally the lick, man. Like a lot of people really don't understand that. When it comes down to it, man, we failing because, like as men, Kevin Gates said it best. I was thinking with my dick. Yeah. Just like they said, the song came out. I remember when that song came out. I think it was on BWA, Breadwinners Association. Uh, I forgot which album it was, but it was a mixtape he had. And I started playing that song. My wife was like, "Why are you listening to that song?" She laughing at me. I said, "Cause that's when you make stupid decisions." And she was like, "But why do you like have it so entertaining? Like it's because when people make stupid decisions, you want to point the finger at something. You want to blame somebody." And I'm like, it's just funny, you know? And like I say, man, it's just men and women, they both want damn near the same thing. But to a point, different variables that play into that. A woman would do whatever it takes to fulfill herself, you know, being comfortable in life, not working. You know, man wants a good woman he can come home to, you know, cook, clean, help pay the bills or whatever. Some, you know, and then I mean, my thing is all this. A lot of guys who argue in this space about this whole alimony crap. Honestly speaking, bro, hell, I don't even make 100,000. You know, I'm not so called the high value man because I don't make 100,000 every single year. But the point remains, like, where the alimony coming from, man? A lot of dudes, I can honestly pull. Like, I ain't even trying to, you know, check two pockets too hard. But honestly, bro, on average, I think most of these guys make about 60,000 on average. You know, from the tech guys, they might make a little more. Guys pushing in real estate, stuff like that. But I mean, even with the low end, 30, most guys who probably on YouTube watching this content throughout the manosphere and all, I mean, on the low end, 32,000 on the low end. Even if you work at freaking McDonald's, you still got you a little side hustle, door dashing and all that. So you making at least about 32 on the low end. How much alimony she gonna get from you, bruh, if y'all get a divorce? Like, bruh, what she gonna get? Like, cause you still gotta live. You know, the court has to take all that into consideration. Say you get a bad judge that want to give up all your money. Hey, man, go get you another one. Like I literally talked to guys and told him about certain things about the court for child support. I mean, even points of getting a divorce, no fault divorces and stuff like that. And it's not even stuff that I know and I've experienced. I never had a kid. I never got a divorce. So how do I know this stuff? I know people that go through this stuff. I actually research this stuff and look it up sometimes. Hell, you get bored or you might see some information come across. You're going to read an article about it. Look at a lot of documentaries. Hell, did anybody know about this new cocaine they got out called pink coke? This junk is supposed to be like twice as more expensive as regular cocaine. And in my opinion, I'm looking at the research. I'm like, man, it don't do nothing but the same as the regular cocaine. But it's like new drugs are popping out every single day. All this stuff going on, man. Like this would be the craziest jump, man. Like we go through so many situations in life, man. I just be literally sitting here laughing at all this stuff that we talk about online. Man, so let's say with that, let's say about 25,000. Let's say about 35. So out of 75, you paying 35 and you staying with 40 in your pocket. Like really? Like man, when it come down to it, man, that's why I be like, bro, we got to be smart about this. And then even if a lot of these guys who go through this whole thing with the marrying, man, I keep saying this in this space, and it's not really not brothers because the brothers that are actually here to actually get it off their chest and go back out there and still play the game to win. I commend you on that. I mean, even with the pumping up dudes who out here running the pumping up thing. If you pumping and dumping, cool. You out here just smashing women, cool. That's your thing. My thing, like I keep telling dudes, everybody not like that. A lot of dudes want to get married because they want that intact family. They want to pass some money down to their kids. If you don't want all that, man, cool. Honestly speaking, man, if you in a situation where you want kids, man, you gotta consider marriage. You got to. Because all you're gonna be doing is making another broken home. You're gonna have some other dude slime up in your in your old lady, which you're gonna get salty about. But the main thing, dude gonna be here trying to rear your son, tell him what to do, trying to beat on your son and stuff. And a lot of dudes, you get mad crazy when y'all talking about something. Man, ain't nobody gonna be doing this and that to my son. Man, hey, bro. Honestly speaking, if my kid ever do anything wrong, respectfully, if you doing something, but I don't even care, just to a point, uncles, whoever. If you're doing something wrong, man, you gonna get in trouble. That was always the golden rule. I grew up around old people. I remember I slapped my son in the mouth one time. Man, that dude looked at me and started crying. And I told him, I say, see, keep your mouth closed. Stay out of grown folk business. Stop chewing loud like that. I got smacked in the mouth. It's only right. Like my wife, she be so mad because I be so hard on my boys. I tell her, I said, man, that's life. I'm not giving them no skating, you know, no amusement park life. Yeah, they're gonna get some, some nice and easy times. But at the same time, hey, that's getting raw truth. I'm not gonna sit here, baby my boys and all the no crap like that. Man, it's gonna be hard life. That's the cycle, man. I can't I can't give them a false, narrative into life, man. They gotta really know what's really going on out here. And babying them is gonna prevent them from actually seeing the truth. It's gonna be like a horse, they're gonna have the blinders on. And the horse with the blinders, he's only going in one direction, you know. As I got to tell about my wife, man, fooled around, told my it's some crazy junk. Me and my homeboy, we be talking. And he was like, man, have you ever told the people on YouTube, you know, your wife be lazy at times? I like, nah, never really talked about it. And he was like, man, you need to tell him. I was laughing up a storm. I was like, bruh. I was like, when it get down to it, yeah, and say the least, that's all women. That's why I be coming with this whole notion when I hear guys be saying other women in the communities and these communities act like this. Nah, man, it come from the home training. It don't come from just because you're a different race, you act better. Nah, man, it come from the home training. Like when it really comes down to it, bro. Like that's just like with black people. Man, you got the people that actually know how to act and do what the hell they wanted to. And then you got the ones that actually, don't really know nothing and they just doing whatever. I like the whole notion that a Mexican woman can raise kids better than a black woman is just preposterous. I mean, honestly, every time I hear little stuff like that, I laugh. When it comes down to it, man, it's the person, bro. It's a lot of women that actually know how to raise kids. Now, say the least, if they do it right, cool. But the point of it is, most of these women know how to raise their kids properly. They just don't. They want to be friends now. This is the whole, you know, buddy buddy culture. I'm not trying to raise my kids to be my friend. I say that all the time. Tell my son, I'm not your friend. I'm your daddy. You know, but yeah, we can kick it and talk and play, but other than that, man, I'm not doing all that. Like, why would I want to be my son's friend? I'm his father. I need to teach him things. I need to show him what's the best for him. Why would I sit here, don't teach him nothing, play video games with him, no life lessons, then he go out there and get himself killed? I never taught him how to stand on anything, you know, be irresponsible, never own up to anything. That's the type of stuff that ends people's life. No direction. That'd be the crazy thing I be listening to with a lot of, channels listening to guys, even women. I hear the dysfunction in all that. When you paint these narratives and no logic behind it, man, you literally pushing your kids into failure status. I can tell by the parents the way they talk. Man, your child ain't gonna be nothing in life. Your child literally gonna suffer in pain and agony, horrible, horrible life. I was just telling my wife that earlier. We were just talking before I came on. One of my sons, man, just he get to the point where he want to act, he don't want to do nothing, get lazy. Okay, cool. He get lazy. I get lazy too. Anytime he want to do something, no. One day it was funny, man. We went. They was my wife was going to a concert with the boys. One of them, he was playing around. He didn't get dressed in time. Left. Hell, just this morning, my son always do this with his mom. I already done told him I don't play those games. I get him up, take him to the bus stop. He wanna. Soon as I tell him I'm about to walk out the door, he goes in the kitchen and tries to, grab some fruit, put it in a Ziploc bag, rinse it off, and I was like, nah, bro, we ain't doing that. Put all that back in the refrigerator. He's like, I'm just gonna do this real quick. I say, real quick was before I came upstairs. Guess what his other brother did? He went in there and set his little lunch bag. He had his chips in there, had his drink, all that. When I came, the first thing he did was open the refrigerator, grabbed his drink out so it'd still be cold, threw it in his bag. He bailed out the door. He said, can you open the car door to that? Or give me the keys and I'll open it myself. Other one, he's still in there trying to get some strawberries and stuff. I'm like, nah, bro, we ain't doing that. I'm like, man, when it comes down to it, it's like, I don't know what we're gonna do, man. Like these kids, if you don't instill that discipline in them now, it's hard for them to cope, you know, and run with that. A lot of people don't want to do that, man. A lot of people don't want to, talk to their kids, help their kids out better. Man, I was literally just talking about this early. Some people, and I'm gonna say men and women too. Mostly I see it from a lot of women. They don't want their kids to go. You know, if your child is doing something pretty good, and I don't like I say, I mostly see it in a lot of women. Not to say I don't see it in men do this too. Man, your son telling you, dad, man, I'm doing this, I'm doing pretty good, you know, about to get this IT job, about to make about, 80 some thousand, almost 100,000. Man, you think his dad happy? Some dads now you gotta see who you talking to. Shout out to Gold Professor. Are you talking to a man or are you talking to a male? See what that male's gonna do, he's gonna get offended that his son is doing better than him. That male is gonna have this whole rejected and just this torn emotional feeling about himself that how he get to make more money than me and he's half my age. While that man is like, man, all power to you, son. Look, when you make that money, go get you a house and do this and do that, you know, and stay on budget. Don't buy the biggest house you can get for the money. Always get a little few pennies back, hold them back just in case something happens. It's just like I told y'all, if I would have listened to my wife and got the house that we qualified for, not saying that, something would have happened about, switching jobs or anything. It's just the whole point. If anything were to happen, we will be screwed because we're going off of both our income. Like I told my wife, I made it to where when we bought that house, if any one of us lose our job, the bills will still get paid. I'm not I'm not buying $800,000 house. I could qualify for 800,000. I'm still gonna get a $500,000 house, you know, because I can pay this house off faster and I can go get another house. Or I can rent this house out and then go get me another house for 600. Then I can rent that house out, then go get me a 700. I can rent that house out, then go get my 800. But by the time I'm ready to get an $800,000 house, guess what? Kids are gone. Why I need all that space? You know, if I'm entertaining, cool. I got a homeboy, man. Oh well, old head. No, my homeboy, but the old head. That's all he do. Man, he got a basement strictly for entertaining. Don't need nobody go down there no more, man. You know, life good for him. Like work a couple of little hours. Man, that's it. He don't even really, what I'm saying, do too much. Basically on retirement status. And that's all he got a basement strictly for entertaining on. Just over there this weekend, man, hollering at him. Man, it was fun. And like all the old heads I be talking to, man, like I'm the youngest out the bunch, 39 years old. Second youngest is 49. Then you start hitting the 50, 55, I think like 55. He about 59. G G was 40. G 40. So yeah, you got an older, I forgot. She about 40, 43. So I think you got about three guys that's in their 40s. No, two guys in the 40s. I'm 39. All the rest of the guys, 50 plus. 50 plus. I'm like, man, shoot, one old head, man. I mean, I know this dude ever since I first he the one that actually hooking me up with all them boys over there. I've been kicking with this old head, what, man, since 2015, 14, 15. And it was crazy because when it came down to him, the job was trying to fire him, and they basically came and told me what they was gonna do. And my thing is, I'm black first. I'm black first. You know, I'm a man and I'm black. So if I see some real injustice doing to my people, I'm gonna speak up on it. So when he told me what was going on, I went straight to the dude after work. He didn't even know I had to do no. So he basically told me, he's like, how do you feel about the guy? I'm like, we cool, co-workers. And I was like, wow. I was like, he's like, well, you guys socialize and stuff like that. I said, I got his number for work, but I don't talk to the guy like that, which I did, but I told him that. And so when it came down to it, they was like, well, we're going to fire him. And we want you to take over his position. I'm like, wow, okay. I say, what he do? Say, man, he just don't want him here no more. Older guy, even though he's doing a good job. I think at the time he's around about 60 something, about 68. But old dude still get moved around. Yeah, he cut grass and everything now. I think he 70, 72. He gonna be 73 this year. Got 2 more years, so he's gonna throw a big old party for his 75th birthday. I told him, I said, man, I got you, man. You throw the party, I help you plan it out and everything. We'll work out to get a big old venue because he's gonna get his family come from Detroit, got family in South Carolina, all his family in Georgia and friends. He gonna throw a big old party. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm like, cool, I help you run it out. But I've been knowing that old head for a minute. And he the one to introduce him to all the other old heads. We play cards, talk, you know what I'm saying? Like I keep saying, men build men. I'm talking about this group of 8. I think it was about 7 or 8 of these guys constantly pouring in so much wisdom to me, man. So much wisdom to me. And it's like, man, I can't do nothing but be great, man. I can't do nothing be better in my life. That's why I say, man, I told this one guy, I said, man, the stuff that we talk about on YouTube, a lot of guys don't even take it offline. Shoot. BGS was, yapping about one dude. When I told him, I let my wife listen to some of the content. I sit here and talk to my wife, talk to other women about this content. Dude was telling me, oh, man, you going to get people channel flag. I said, man, my wife don't even have time for this. Only time she even send me stuff. She sent me the clip about the guy what was the one I think where the chick was cheating on him at the pool, and she wasn't even mad that her husband caught her. She was mad because he found her. And my wife was like, "That's bad." She was like, "You can tell she had no remorse for that situation." And I'm like, "Man, it is what it is. You know, that's what people do." Like, crazy. But like I say, it goes the cycle, man. This stuff is this stuff is trained, man. It's taught. You know, just like I say about them boys, man. I was watching the pod and the dude said, "Man, if you ain't got friends, at least for knee high, tree high, we understand people move a lot. You know, uh, they call it military brats. You know, some PKs don't really have too many close friends. You know, because a lot of PKs they deal with the people in the church, but you have a older generation of church people, then there you go. You ain't gonna have that level to where them kids can get down like that. I mean, man, that's crazy. But it's like that cycle, man. I keep going back to, man. You got to be able to get into the process of learning things, man. You know, got to be able to start working. You got to be able to trust people, man. And that trust is gonna be built. It's not organic. I don't just trust people off the grip. I had a dude, Gabe, babe. Shout out to Gabe. Gabe a pretty good dude, man. I always hear him coming on panels, even though to me he has his ups and downs about his conversation between things because I heard him get into some little crazy stuff. I ain't speaking on, but he said a comment about me when I told him I don't fully trust my wife and we've been together 15 years. And basically I told him that because you fully never trust people all the way to an extent. Fully never trust people. Oh, got a business call. I'm gonna have to end this one. I'll let y'all. Once again, we here.